Hello everybody, my name is Balazs and we have on the right side an Apple iPhone 7, the smallest new iPhone that's on the market, and on the left side the Galaxy S7, which is the smallest premium flagship smartphone by Samsung after the S7 Edge and Note 7, which came out also a few weeks ago. So we have the S7 here on the left side, which is a 5.1-inch device, but we also have a 4.7-inch device by Apple, the iPhone 7, which has the same size in terms of device size, but the display size is a lot smaller, since we just have bigger, not bezels, but just borders around the display still with Apple, which is a little bit sad. But if we go further into design, let's just check them out both from the back, where we will see that we have a full metal body still on Apple, and Samsung is now in the full glass business still on the back, which is a little bit harder to protect with the glass easily cracking, as you can see here on the back on the corner, but I will have a separate video about that also soon up. But what's also interesting is that both have just a single camera actually still on the back with 12 megapixels, 4K video resolution, but the Apple iPhone camera is just sticking out a little bit more. But we have 4 flashlights on the iPhone, while we only have 1 on the Samsung, and a heart rate sensor. This is just a little pop socket, which is handy for me to hold, so this is just glued on here, don't worry about that. But what's actually also interesting, that the iPhone is a lot slimmer with 7.1 millimeter compared to 7.9 millimeters on the Samsung Galaxy S7, which you can see here on the left. Both have one speaker, but we have only one headset jack here on the Samsung, since the Apple now needs an adapter here with Lightning, or just use the internal headset that they give you in the package. So not too bad for me, since I anyway use Bluetooth headsets, and here there's just a few sensors and a microphone built in, so don't worry about the second grill, it's not stereo mic or not stereo speaker on the bottom. What we have on the right side is on both an on and off switch and a SIM card slot now here on the Apple iPhone, which is actually on the top for the Samsung Galaxy S7, which has also micro SD card slots, so you can easily expand the storage on the Samsung, while you can not do that on the iPhone, but you can buy up to 256 gigs of memory here on the iPhone. 128 or 32 gigs are also available. 32 and 64 gigs are the options for the Samsung, but it's cheaper to buy a micro SD and put it in than buying a bigger spaced iPhone actually usually, so that's I would say a minus for Apple. What is a plus though is that we still have this mute button, which nobody does anymore, not even BlackBerry, which is a little bit sad because they were the pioneers in that area. So what we'll do now is compare here on the front the fingerprint reader, after that also the cameras on the back. I mentioned both 12 megapixel, but what I didn't mention is actually that the aperture is here with 1.7, a little bit better for low light pictures than the aperture at 1.8 for the iPhone. But we will compare that, as I mentioned, in a second, and also compare the 7 and the 5 megapixel camera on the front, where we have here an aperture of 1.7 again, but here just 2.2 with Apple, so worse in low light for taking pictures when it comes to specs. But specs are not everything, as you will see in a second, since what we will do now is just unlock here both devices with our fingers right away, and you can see that the Samsung takes at the first round a little bit longer. Let's see how the second round goes. No match, even worse. This was similarly fast, and the fourth one, again no match, but not that important. Let's just continue here with a little bit of benchmarking, since I mentioned hardware is not everything, since even with better hardware on a Samsung you can get higher numbers on the iPhone, because the display resolution is with 750 x 1334, as half as high almost as a 2560 x 1440 resolution, which is better for VR obviously, but also needs more power. That's why we have here a thicker case with a 3000 milliamp battery, so 50% more than the 2000 milliamp battery on the iPhone 7. So because the high resolution screen needs more power and it's also bigger, so the battery life should be around the same if you would compare that. Now let's start a little bit of gaming here, but let me close the game first so you can see also how fast it loads up, and then we will just do a little bit of running here with the Tomb Raider lady from Relic Run. So let's start up both and we will see which loads up faster. The Apple iPhone is already in the game and we could start now running. The Samsung is still loading, takes a few seconds longer, with 4 gigs of RAM, or even completely closes. Now that didn't happen to me yet. This is quite interesting. Let's try that again. Strange things happen, as it seems. Here we go. So let's do the second level again on both devices. And you can see actually both are on 50% brightness right now, with no automatic display brightness being turned on. And the Samsung seems to be a little bit brighter, but the colors are nicer on the iPhone, since the new iPhone 7 has also new display technology built in, which should make it even better. And yeah, you can see the level was not too long, it was just a short load game, but both are quite quick for gaming purposes, obviously, but just a high resolution on the Samsung, which I mentioned for VR, it's better. What's also better on the Samsung is sadly the camera when it comes to the front camera, because the wide angle is just amazing still with with Samsung. I don't know what lens they use, but it seems like it's double the wide angle than the iPhone, which is quite amazing. So you can see the whole camera, my whole upper body almost fits in the picture, while here the camera lash and just my shoulders are in the picture for the iPhone 7. But the colors are maybe a little bit nicer, and obviously maybe even oversaturated here on the bottom, since actually this is the real color of my shirt, not this one, so a little bit too much red. But let's just check out the back camera. I think more people take pictures with the camera on the back, so the 12 megapixels look not only fast in focus, but you can definitely see that they are similar here in terms of sharpness and color accuracy. I would definitely say there is a match on both devices now here when it comes to video and picture taking. Where there's no match actually is for Apple, the 3D touch. Still not too many companies do the right click function that you can just press a few buttons a little bit stronger, and then you have here an extra feature, which is quite nice. And now the extra feature that Samsung still now had with wireless, with not only wireless charging, but with actually waterproofness, the Apple also has that now. So both are water resistant, 1 meter deep, half an hour. But yeah, what I mentioned just before, wireless charging is still only available on the Samsung Galaxy S7, so you don't need to plug it in each time to charge it up. So this was a really short comparison. Thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe with the Apple iPhone 7 and the Samsung Galaxy S7, which are both pretty devices, but obviously since this came out in March, it's now a little bit cheaper with $500 to $600, and while we still have here a high price tag since it's 2 weeks old of 800 plus, and obviously a lot more if you want more storage inside. So thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Balazs, and this was the Apple iPhone S7 compared to the Samsung Galaxy S7 smartphone.